face identity theft alone. Join LifeLock today.
Joining us now, President and Editor-in-Chief of American Media, Father Sam Sawyer, alongside MSNBC Vatican analyst Deborah Luboff, and Boston College Professor of Theology and Religion, Thomas Groom. Everyone, thank you. Father Sawyer, can I go to you first and just ask you your reaction to this historic, and I do mean it, historic election?
You know, I'm stunned, I'm overjoyed. I'm a Jesuit myself, so one of the things that has hit me is we never expected a Jesuit pope last time. We never expected an American pope ever. So two firsts in two successive conclaves, but I think really amazing. Also the name Leo XIV, a nod, an indication of an embrace of Catholic social teaching. It's wonderful, and I'm overjoyed.
What do you expect from his very first Mass, which will happen, by the way, on Sunday?
So Sunday, we expect an Angelus blessing from him. I'm not sure quite what they've scheduled for Mass yet. So I expect we'll continue to see that theme of peace that we heard in his address from the loggia when he came out and offered the blessing today, particularly with the kind of conflict and the level of unrest that's in the world right now. I think he will continue to speak very powerfully to peace.
Thomas, you and I were talking yesterday about what to expect and who the potential frontrunners were. A name not on this list was Robert Francis. Luboff didn't talk about him once because he was an American. I think he was 14th on our list of probable candidates. And yet here we are today, a man who has taken on, as the father was saying, the title of Pope Leo XIV, social justice pope. Super significant, especially given what's going on around the world. They talk so much about peace, and we're living in a moment where there's so many hot spots, there are so many conflicts, and it feels like there is so much that is on the brink. What could this mean?
Oh, my goodness, Katie. There's a way in which we have to wait and see. But as you spoke there, I was saying to myself, yeah, why didn't we guess? Why didn't we imagine this? If I was doing my homework, I think I would have come up with the name of Robert Prevost. In some ways, it's obvious now. And I would say Pope Francis, he was Pope Francis's preferred candidate. I would say Pope Francis is dancing around the floors of heaven right now, delighted with himself that this good man, Robert Prevost, was appointed and took this name of Leo XIV. I'll say more about that in a moment, perhaps. But Francis kept advancing him regularly. He put him in charge of the appointment of bishops. There's no more important or no more strategically powerful position in the Catholic Church than who gets to name the bishops. Well, Pope Francis appointed Bishop Prevost to that terribly responsible position. Then he was also president of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America, which was a deep desire and concern of Pope Francis to care for the churches of Latin America. And again, Prevost was in charge there. And when he was in charge of, one of the first things he did when he was put in charge of naming bishops was he appointed 3 women to that commission. Now, that had never happened before. Now, we can easily say, look, there should be 50% of that commission should be women. But at least it was a step in the right direction to appoint 3 of them. And many people, other previous speakers have made the same point. It is highly significant that he takes the name of Leo, and Leo the 16th. Because Leo the 14th. Because Leo the 13th, now the teaching on justice was a part of Catholic faith from the very beginning of the Church. But Leo pushed it out into very clearly a social justice and the responsibilities, the social political responsibilities of Christian faith in the midst of the world, and caring for the downtrodden, and not just feeding the hungry, but questioning why are they hungry and why are there structures of government that cause people to be hungry. In other words, he pushed compassion of the gospel out into the social realm. And Pope Leo XIII, and for our present Pope now to come along and take the name of Leo XIV, that is loud and clear the kind of pontificate that he intends to launch and that he will fulfill. And it's, in a sense, it's a continuation of the work of Pope Francis, that indeed this is the gospel, that caring for the poor, the downtrodden, the alienated, the strangers, the immigrants, the migrants, the hungry, the downtrodden. He will continue in that vein, and it's the best aspect of our Catholic faith. He will continue what Pope Francis had put in place, and I know now why Francis chose him. But as I said, if I was doing my homework, I would have guessed it sooner.
Yeah, 2 years ago, made him a cardinal. Did he walk in knowing that if he were elected, that he wanted to be Pope Leo? Do all of the cardinals who walk into that room have an idea of what they want to be called?
I suppose in moments of fantasy or where they're lying awake at night, I imagine they do a little bit of imagining. Now, what name would I take if I was ever named Pope? And but obviously when the vote started getting becoming obvious, when it became clear to him that he was going to be elected, because I'm sure there was like 50 votes, 30 votes, 40 votes. I think the movie, the Conclave, is fairly accurate in this regard. There were probably different people at different percentages of the vote. But I imagine as his candidacy began to emerge and to get to the top, he thought very carefully about what name would he take. And in some ways, I had originally hoped he would take the name of Francis II and continue in the vein. But in many ways, he has done that, and has done it even in a better way than I had imagined, by taking the name of Leo XIV. It's a wonderful tradition of the Catholic faith, and he obviously intends to continue it.
Thomas, thank you very much. And Father Sam Sawyer, thank you as well. Deborah, we're going to get back to you soon. There is still so much more ahead in our next hour as the world reacts to the brand new American Pope. We are back in history. We are back in talking about history. We'll be back after a quick break.